Texas is the second largest state in the United States, making it one of the easiest states to spot on a map. Because Texas is so large, it comes as no surprise that its geography is diverse. From mountains and canyons to the rivers and Gulf shores, Texas has many different landforms and climates. Tucked away in the secluded mountains and basins region is Big Bend National Park. As the name suggests, this park is big, and so are its landforms.
From what I've seen so far, Big Bend has some pretty impressive mountains.
That's Connor. Today, he is meeting Park Ranger David to learn more about the geography of the area.
Hi, Connor. I'm David Elkowitz. Welcome to Big Bend National Park.
Thank you.
I understand you're looking to learn more about the geography of Texas.
Sure am, and I hear this is a good place to learn about it.
It absolutely is. It's one of the very best. Let's get started.
All right.
Big Bend covers more than 800,000 acres of land and is famous for its natural resources and spectacular geology. It is also home to more cacti, birds, butterflies, and reptiles than any other national park in the United States. And the views here aren't too bad either.
So, Ranger David, what part of the park is this?
Well, this is the Chisos Mountains, Connor. We're looking at the window, one of the most iconic views in all of Big Bend National Park. People from all over the country and even the entire world come here to see this place.
And why are there so many different plants and animals here?
It's a great question, Connor. Big Bend National Park is kind of like 3 parks in one, is what we tell people. Along our southern boundary is the Rio Grande. It's the border with Mexico. It's a wet riparian habitat. In the center of the park is the Chihuahuan Desert. It covers most of the park, but up here in the high country, well over a mile high, we get into a cooler, wetter environment. We get high country trees and all these different types of food that bears and lions and other animals can take advantage of. So the high country has a great variety for us to see.
Ranger David explains that the various elevations create different microclimates, which allow for a great diversity of plants and animals to survive throughout the park. Unlike the Chisos Basin, the desert is dry. Wildlife such as jackrabbits, roadrunners, and snakes have adapted to the limited amount of rainfall in this area. Connor notices that the vegetation looks different here too. Instead of pine trees, he now spots a lot of cacti and even a rare plant.
This is a yucca dagger. Not only is it huge, but you might not find it anywhere else in the world.
Next, it's on to the river.
So this is the river that separates the United States from Mexico.
It sure is. This is the mighty Rio Grande below us, and that's Mexico just beyond it, Connor.
The Rio Grande runs 118 miles along the park's southern border and is a big attraction for visitors.
How many people visit Big Bend in a year?
Honestly, about 350,000 people come down to Big Bend National Park each year. They come from Texas, all over the United States, and indeed all over the world.
What do they do when they get here?
Well, they have a lot of choices because of our geography. Big Bend has high country mountains that are created by our geography and volcanic activity. They can backpack and they can see wildlife and camp, or they can get on the Rio Grande, like right behind us. The Rio Grande, because of our geography, has river canyons and it has rapids and it has beautiful stretches of open water for canoeing and rafting.
While the river provides a place for recreation today, it played a larger and more important role as a water source and for transportation in the lives of the early settlers. Seeing the remains of these homes sparks a question for Connor.
And it's so nice here. Why don't more people live here?
It's a really good question. The early explorers were exploring Texas. This part of Texas, because of the geography, the deep river canyons, the Pecos River, was hard to get to. And therefore, not that many people made the trip all the way down here, and it has remained relatively isolated even today.
Because the region is so rugged, people passed through it and settled in places that were easier to live in. Connor appreciates that Big Bend National Park has remained relatively untouched. Now he and other visitors can learn about the area just the way it was hundreds of years ago.
Today I've learned that the geography in Texas is diverse and Big Bend is no exception. Thank you for joining me on this video field trip. See ya!